Allah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This past Friday, on the 19th of Ramadan, Sayyid Hassan called into light the significance of the words of Imam Ali alayhi salam on the eve of his martyrdom. He says, it is not an easy thing to say Fustu bi Rabbil Kaaba at the moment of your head is struck with a poisonous blade. Specifically for a man of such bravery and valor, a man who won conquest after conquest, who stood side by side with the Prophet in the reclaiming of the Mecca and the victory of Badr. Imam Ali was victorious time and again throughout his life. So why was it that only at the time of his Shahada, he said, Fustu bi Rabbil Kaaba? By the Lord of the Kaaba, I am victorious. He said this so that we may recognize that martyrdom is good. Martyrdom is a go. But does this mean that we don't cry for the ones that are shaheed? Of course we cry. But despite this overarching grief, we are proud of our shahada. So what is martyrdom? Martyrdom is jihad. And what is jihad? Jihad is to rise against those who act against Allah, be it in the form of poetry, art, social media, or coming out into these streets. Jihad is to rise against those who act against Allah and His message and in His laws. I attended a majlis last week in which the scholars stated that it is easy to stand for what is right for when it is popular. Alhamdulillah, today, despite decades of misinformation and hundreds of billions of dollars of propaganda, the truth is popular. Palestine is popular. But how can we know if our stance for Palestine today is simply because we are on haqq, on the truth, or if we are simply conforming to the status quo? How can we tell? This past March marked the 7 years since the shahadat of revolutionary leader Shahid Bassel Araj, who was said to be the first of the intellectuals to be a revolutionary and the first of the revolutionaries to be an intellectual. Shahid Bassel, both in his time and in his legacy, has continued to liberate the minds of men and women alike. He neither encouraged others to become fighters nor encouraged them to become revolutionaries. Rather, he encouraged us to live by the truth. In one of his speeches, he states that in order to become a true intellectual, one must be an intellectual even in their actions. If it is not shown in their actions, then both the person themselves and their knowledge is useless. It is worth nothing. Similarly, he states, I want to dissolve this idea that is in our heads. I want to dissolve this idea that is in our heads. I want to shatter this idol that we've built in our minds that the Zionists are capable. They are not capable. They are not capable to remove, decide, and control our lives. This authority does not come from their weapons. It stems from our minds. This authority exists only in our minds, and we are the ones who have given it to them. But if you refuse these thoughts, the occupation will end. In order to liberate our minds, in order to liberate the land, we must liberate our minds. Shahid Bassel proves that to reach the lofty goal of martyrdom, or even to wage jihad, one must truly understand their position in the world, their stations and self-worth, as well as the weaknesses of their enemies. Shahid Bassel states that yes, we are victims. We are victims, but there is a difference between one who instills the victim's revenge against their oppressors and the one who wants to be a victim just to prove that they are not a threat. A stance such as his, rooted in justice and self-determination, does not come by merely standing up for what is popular. The stance of a revolutionary is hand in hand with that of an intellectual. What remains for us is to mold ourselves into such personalities that we are able to stand on the side of the truth and on the side of justice by whatever means necessary. Ameen.